Right, guys, I think we are live. We are live actually at one of my offices. So, excuse the appearance. You see, it's just junk everywhere. So sorry about that. It's funny though because there's like on this side, look, there's egg cartons. So it shows even in my office, I have like this random stuff that I give eggs to my staff and things like that. So I think that's kind of funny. Now let's jump into the stories of the day. I wanted to get on. I told you I was going to do a few lives here and there, so that way we can. Do some question and answering stuff. I can see talk about some of the things that we don't get to talk about in some of the videos. So if you again ask questions, first of all, tell me where you're from, where you're watching from, but also ask questions, put them in um, bold or in capitalized letters so I can see them and try to get to all the questions that we can answer on this live. First, let's talk about a few things. We have a video still coming out today, a great video. It's a stockpile video, but it's based on some news from the Fed, something that's really good, something that people are not talking about. So please make sure you watch the video today. It comes out around 5:30, a very, very good video. And it talks about some of the things that are going up in price based on the tariff talks. So a very, very good video. Now, let's jump into some of the things that I did not get to in the video that I wanted to address when we actually did the live. So first, remember, make sure that you give us a thumbs up if you can, and also make sure you are subscribed. We got an email. We're going to be talking about the email from YouTube about some of the things we've been going through. So our agent got back with us, and so we'll be talking about that in the video up and coming very, very, very soon. But another thing I want to mention was you saw gold pricing is still going up. If you are looking at gold, physical gold is great, but also gold mining stocks. Make sure you are paying attention to those things. I'm not a broker. I just think that that's things that we need to talk about. How it shows how bad our economy actually is when gold just keeps on skyrocketing. So make sure that you have. Make sure you have some gold. Peter Schiff came out and said, as a few people realize that the U.S. has been living in a bubble economy. Now, Peter actually, I like Peter. He's an Austrian economics person and believes in gold, but he is not a fan of Trump and the tariffs. But he makes common sense here. He says people have no idea how bad the bubble is and how quick it can pop. That's why gold is surging. He says we are looking at a coming crisis, and the warning signs are all around us. And I believe that too, unless we let it get to the brink and then we negotiate all these deals. I think again the biggest problem is not tariffs. The biggest problem is not the money that's coming into from taxes. The biggest deal is the spending that we're doing. So I think that's the biggest issue, and I think Peter knows that. I think he just doesn't like he don't like the tariffs because he's in the market too. But to be honest with you, gold is skyrocketing, and I thought that was a good point of what he said. That really all we're doing is just realizing how bad a shape we're actually in. I saw that comment from Melinda says, "Please, I'm asking everyone to pray for FSU today." Yeah, a lot of things went on there today with the situation with the shooting. So just pray for those people. It's just a sad situation there. All right, so let's jump into some of the stories now. Today's video, we talk a little bit about the things that are going on with the tariffs. But I told you a few days ago, I do believe there's going to be a deal coming through because of the way that we're able to really, because we're the biggest consumer, people depend on us to buy. And so when we talk about tariffs, actually all tariffs are is just a negotiating tool. I don't believe we're actually going to actually see full-fledged tariffs all across the board. I think we're going to see a better balanced trade, but I think that that's actually what we're going to see. Well, just like today, how we said there, if you looked last week, China said there's no deal. China said we're not laying on any cards. We're not negotiating any. Well, yesterday it was like, well, we may be open to talks. we may talk a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, it's got to be a respect issue from Trump. Well, today it came out that Trump said that there's going to be a very good deal, and that Trump and China is already fixing to negotiate. So really good signs there. I think what you're going to see with the stock market, and right now the prices are low. Until this agreement comes in, I think you're going to see prices high. But I believe once you see the prices, once you see the tariff negotiated, I believe you're going to see prices go back down. And I think you're going to also see influx of the market going really good. So there's another breaking news that came out today. It says deal with Ukraine on rare earth minerals. You remember they tried to kind of pull back on that deal. It says it will be finalized 1 week from today. So next Thursday, Trump will have that done, which is a big deal because that's the things that China has been trying to hold from us. So I thought that was huge for him to say that. Another unusual whale said the same thing. Breaking right now, China is willing to sit down with Trump. Another huge thing. I talked about that in the video today. But here's the biggest point I want to make before we get into questions. We look at media and influencers and banks and politicians to tell us the sentiment. We look at more like, oh my gosh, everything's in chaos. That's what they want you to believe. But there's a new a new study that just came out from CNN now. CNN, which is a Democratic leftist news network. Listen, new CNN poll show that the majority of Americans, up 56%, support deporting all illegal aliens. Also, it shows that over 52% support the tariffs. So when the news and the media and politicians tell you, oh, it's just crazy, it's nuts out there, everybody's in chaos. Actually, the majority of people, I think, are realizing that these things will benefit us. Kind of like what Peter Schiff said in that little snippet a while ago. I think people are finally waking up to the fact that we're in a very bad situation. And until we get ready to face it head on, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big Jerome Powell fan, but I'm going to talk about him in the video, so I don't want to release too much because I think the video I've got come out 5:30 is huge. But he actually made comments about that we almost have been living in a farcical land to think that this is not going to happen. Something is going to happen. Crisis is going to happen sooner or later. You better hope it's sooner, so then you can face it head on versus allowing the market to get destroyed and put us in a depression. So the video that we're talking about is coming out, so please make sure you pay attention to that. So, all right, now I've got all the little things out of the way. There's one more thing I wanted to share that I didn't get to in the video today. There's and this is part of the negotiations, I think, with China, but there's a new report that shows that China firm is aiding the Houthis in targeting U.S. warships. You always wonder how this little ragtag group of terrorists can hit our ships and have just marksmen, and penetrate our ships and other ships just like that. Well, truth is, there's a Chinese firm that actually helped them. Listen to this. It says the U.S. has accused Changguang Satellite Technology Company, a Chinese company with military ties, of supplying satellite imagery to the Houthi rebels in Yemen. This imagery reportedly aids in the targeting of U.S. and international vessels. Now, this is where Trump can use this to his advantage because, remember, he's trying to negotiate deals away from China, which we talk about in the video today, and some of them are big players. But it shows that they're willing to hit any ship, and they were the ones helping. So that's a big, big story there. So pay attention to those stories. That was all I wanted to mention. I wanted to get all those in because that's some of the things I did not talk about in today's video. Now, we are live, so please, I'm looking at the comments. I think we have about 300 people on here so far. Put your questions in capitalized letters if possible. Thank you all for coming on. Illinois, Georgia, Michigan. Let's see. Wyoming, Florida. Wow, great to see a lot of people here from all over America. If you didn't catch yesterday's video about what's happening in Massachusetts and Michigan and even Texas, you need to go back and watch that. That video actually was censored pretty hard here. We did not get any recommendations from YouTube on that. But that video was a very, very good video. It had some good information on it. So if you did not catch yesterday's video, you sure do need to go get yesterday's video for sure. Hello from Kentucky, from Mississippi. Hey, well, great. That's excellent. Let's see, from Michigan. Aren't live feeds supposed to be ad-free? I have no idea, Masha. That is a YouTube question. They are over all that, not us. Is also a way to get the max. Hey, thank you, Mongo Me, for mentioning that because I saw the tag and it comes up in a different color. So yes, if you have questions, please make sure that you're either tagging us or putting it in capitalized letters. Mr. Mac, where should I go and look for physical gold and non-physical? Okay, so a few things. If you're looking for physical gold, remember you're going to pay top dollar right now. However, hopefully it will keep on going up, which usually means signs of a bad market. But we buy from Genesis Gold. You can probably buy from a lot of other companies. I like Genesis Gold. If you can't buy it local, now if I could buy it local, I do have a friend who owns a kind of like a resale shop or a pawn shop, and if he gets gold in and we have a good relationship, we'll work something out and barter some to get physical gold. If not, then I always order for Genesis Gold. Genesis Gold is a phenomenal company, great value-based gold company based out of California. I deal with them, and they are phenomenal. I talked to the owner just a few days ago. What a great company. If I'm buying non-physical, again, I challenge you by physical, but a lot of times if you're trying to save money, I'd look at gold mining or gold investment companies such as, I know just throwing some out there. Gold mining, U.S. gold mining, the ETFs based in gold right now, they're all doing really well, but it's just because gold is doing really well. So I would rather you have gold and silver physical, but if you can't, then, and if you don't have the kind of funds to pay for big chunks of gold, which a lot of people don't, of course, I would definitely say go to looking at the options with mining stocks and gold mining stocks. Great question though. Let's see. Hello from Maine. Hey, welcome from Maine. Let's see. Name your seed vault you recommend. Okay, if I'm buying a seed vault, I'm buying it from Survival Garden Seeds. I actually have 4 of these. We've given some away too, but Survival Garden Seeds is a phenomenal company. I personally, again, we've sat with the owner, ate lunch, and ate supper together in Oklahoma when we met them. They have a great quality. One thing I love about them. Here's the thing I love about them. First, non-GMO, and a lot of them are heirloom seeds, just depending on what you're buying. But they also tell you exactly not just how to plant, but shows you how to actually get the seeds back harvested off the plant that you're growing. So it's kind of funny because they teach you how to be sustainable where you don't have to buy seeds anymore. Now we still buy seeds from them, but they have medicinal seed vaults, they have herbal seed vaults, they have vegetable seed vaults, they have homestead seed vaults, they have container garden seed vaults. They have all kinds of seed vaults that can easily be good for you, but they're called Survival Garden Seeds. They're based out of Utah. I think is actually where he's based out of. His name is Jason. There's a link usually in my description to him. You can click on. I think it saves you about $10. I really like Jason. I really like Survival Garden Seeds. Yeah, Mongomery. I know. I wish that I could have been in prior this year. Sean, and with Keep It in the Dutch, I talked to him about 2 days after. He said it's one of the biggest crowds they ever had. So we hated to miss it. It was just one of those cases where we had to stay home and get some farm stuff done. It seemed like everything was happening at that same time. Survival Seed Vaults, actually, and it's called Survival Garden Seeds is the company. Welcome, England. Hey, thank you. It's funny how people say we have accents because we're from the South. My wife has probably got a little bit stronger Southern accent than I do, but it's kind of funny because when we talk to other people, we think they have accents. Let's see, almost 300 watching. Thank you, Leslie, for telling everyone to hit the thumbs up. Hello from Southern Florida. I just got some Survival Garden Seeds. Awesome. I love them. We actually planted everything we planted this year. I think about 70% were Survival Garden Seeds, 30% were just our seeds that we had last year. We keep a lot of seeds and we rotate heavy, and we don't need to buy seeds, but we choose to buy seeds because we like to keep it going. So thank you, Beth. It is in the description there. And there's a link to save money there too. Let's see. Any other questions? Shoot me some questions, guys. Let's see if I can get some. What's with the martial law talk? I think that there's been a lot of talk at the kind of the month end for martial law. I don't know if it's happening. I've seen a little bit on the fringe news about it, but nothing substantial yet. I actually talked about doing a video closer to it, but I haven't heard enough about it to really say I'm gonna touch on it just because it's kind of on the fringes right now. But we are keeping an eye on that, by the way. All right, guys, shoot me some more questions. Anything y'all have, I'm gonna be on here for about another 3 or 4 minutes. I can hit a lot of questions real quick. Let's see. Yes, Survival Garden Seeds is the company that we use, and I buy the vaults because they're in plastic containers and it has all the seeds in it. But they make smaller groups of seeds. So, like if you live in a small neighborhood, you may not want to buy the whole seed vault and have corn, because corn needs a little bit more area. You may buy the smaller, what they call a homestead mix or garden mix. Now, I believe that seeds can be easily barterable and actually worth a lot of money. So I think that that's a very, very good thing, even if you buy the seed vault and don't use them. All right, let's see. Are you worried about the tariffs? A lot or little? I'm actually not worried about them at all, Bernadette. I'm going to talk about that in the video today. the negotiation part of the tariffs is actually what's going to benefit us. I do believe tariffs is going to make things go up for a little bit, and I talk about 5 things, especially in today's video, that you need to purchase before that it goes up, because the price is supposed to go up next week on a lot of these items. However, I do think in the long run it's going to be beneficial. Here's why. It's like we see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we can't get there. We have to go through the dark valley first. We have to go through the dark tunnel before we get to the light. And I think that's where we're at, because I think what Trump and what a lot of people see, and the reason tariffs are the talk right now, is because it worked for so long. Why did we get away from it? Well, we got away from it because our government wanted to tax us. And so that was a way that they can keep money flowing, and it also keeps us pretty much in a dependent state. I mean, think about property tax. We're dependent on paying our property tax to the government. So I think that tariffs are a good thing. I think they need to come back. I don't believe it's us should be paying for the things we need. I think it should be the people that are wanting to do business here. So I do think it's going to be good. Are you aware of the tariffs we threw on Japan in the early 90s that forced them to sell loss? Yes. You know what's so crazy, Drops? If you look back at the 80s and 90s and dealing with Japan and dealing with all that, we actually almost lost our automotive license. We almost lost all of Detroit. What saved us was tariffs. If you go back and look, that's why there's so many Toyota plants here today, is because of the tariffs that were back in the 80s and 90s. That's actually why tariffs have a very good historical value, because what we're seeing is the onshoring. BMW just said they're going to onshore more. There's a dealership in North Mississippi. They're going to onshore more. It's Nissan. So it actually worked in the 80s and 90s. And what's to say it won't work again? Kobe, did you get my email a couple of weeks ago about YouTube shenanigans? Lisa, I get a ton of emails about it, but I probably did. Send it back to me. We just got an email from YouTube about some things dealing with some of our videos. So we've been held down. I told you that. We're going to be talking about that in a video very, very soon. Let's see. What is the truth about failed banks being able to confiscate your money? Is that just over 250K? Always remember, Deborah, when you think of the FDIC, the banks will always have the insurance to cover your accounts. Here's the kicker, though. It's what they don't tell you. Because banks don't have money, and because there's the FDIC insurance is not enough to cover it, even like 20% of the banks in America, if we saw something dangerous, they're going to do what they call a bail-in before they do a bail-out. So they're going to bail out the biggest and the most profitable banks along with the biggest and most profitable accounts before they mess with every person's account. So be very wary of anybody telling you they're FDIC insured and that means your money's safe. Now, do I keep money in the bank? Yeah, you have to have money in the bank. I understand. But just don't put everything in the bank and put all your eggs in one basket. I always tell you to have a little cash, a little money in the banks, a little money in other places and inconspicuous places, and have different assets that are worth things for barterable. Great question. What would you suggest for percentage of wealth that a person should own in silver or gold? The common denominator, again, I'm not a broker, so when I say this, please don't take this as brokerage. It's just my personal thought. Most people tell you 5 to 10%. I probably have closer to 20 to 25%, maybe even 30. And that's just because I have the physical element, and then I also have some in the market that I help hedge when things like this happen. Like, for instance, my gold stocks have done rather well, even through all this crazy pandemonium that we've got going on. Welcome, Kevin, from Texas. Way to go. Let's see. When we have your greenhouse completed, I just got a call literally about 3 minutes before I went live that our plastics, our greenhouse polycarbonate, is supposed to be here next week. I think Easter kind of kicked it back a little bit, so it's supposed to be here this weekend, but being that it's Easter, it won't be here till next week. So I'm hoping to start hanging some of that by maybe Thursday or Friday of next week, if not next weekend, or hopefully the following week. So within 7 to 10 days, I should have everything here, and it's just now putting it together. Gear for the storm. Yeah, Natasha, we have a bad storm coming really all during Easter and throughout the next week. Let's see. I just got notified. I'll start from the beginning. Thank you, Annie. Let's see. Good question on that. Just pointed that out, Kobe. Yes, I agree, Drops. I think a lot of people don't understand tariffs because we've been fed the narrative that tariffs are bad. And I'm not saying tariffs are good. I'm just saying tariffs are a negotiating ploy. Today's video, I can't keep saying that enough. Watch today's video because we're going to talk about what the tariffs are actually doing. And it's proven by some of the breaking news that we just talked about. Let's see. I'm sure all the friends follow the channels, but again, the viewer warning. Yes. So, like, you know what's so crazy, Mongo Me? If you watch a lot of my videos, now I'm starting to get a warning at the end, at the bottom of my videos, especially the one I did the other day about the NWO things. So, okay, they don't like me here on this platform. Thank you for America for standing up for free speech in the UK. Yes, lovely. I tell you, y'all going through some crazy stuff. I think you better stay strong over there and start preparing for sure, because y'all are in way worse shape than we are. Have you thought about using Rumble and other platforms? Okay, so Aaron, we actually are on. I'm very active on Twitter or X, and that's just for me to comment. If you're looking for quick comments, that's where you can easily catch my comments, and I try to chime back a lot of replies. I am on Rumble, but Rumble actually will not help us. We actually have spoke to Rumble, and we've never really got support from that platform. We are on Rumble. We're at the max, all capitalized, all together. All the videos are over there too, but for some reason they will not assist us, which is kind of unique. I think they're trying to only get the big dogs and the big platforms, which I'm totally okay with. I mean, Chris Pavlaski is doing great things over there. He just on the smaller channels like us, which we would consider ourselves a very small channel compared to Ben Shapiro or even Dan Bongino when he was over there. I think that's why we've not really got the push yet. Land is a good asset and investment. I agree, KJ. I believe that when it comes down to it, land and tangible assets are going to be what has wealth in it. You know what someone said the other day? They're like, well, our dollar's crashing, Bitcoin's crashing, stock market's crashing. What should we put our money in? I said the same things that's been threadbare since day one: food and physical, tangible assets, for sure. Are you under the same title on X? I'm actually under the Colby Mac. I will try to type this in. If you look under the Colby Mac, you will find that. And I have about 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers. I do a giveaway over there some too. So just be wary of that. And if you're on X, I share a lot of content of some of the stuff that I share comes on the video. Some of it don't, because I just don't have enough time. But go check me out over there for sure. Let's see. This is my first live with you guys. Yeah, I'm going to try to go through April and do at least 5 to 6 more lives this month. I know it's the 17th, but we're going to try to do a live just about every other day or every second or third day, because I do like that. I love the camaraderie. I love the community that we build. It's important to me. Let's see. Beth, thank you for that. God bless for sure. Absolutely. Let's see. Jeremy, you're right. If you can't touch it, you don't own it. Now, here's the thing. I think tangible goods is perfect. Is there any reason to still have money in stock or banks? Absolutely. I don't think that you ever should just have everything physically in your hands, because guess what? Things can happen. So we always say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that is so threadbare, cliche, but it is so true. I actually talked to a few people at the RFK camp when he was running. We talked about it. That's another thing. If y'all think that I should do more interviews, I have never done interviews because it seemed like it didn't fit my channel. If you think I should try to do some more interviews, I actually had Eric Prince one time. We reached out and we talked to him for a little bit about the unplugged phone. Talked to RFK's representation when he was running, not as what he's HHS and under Trump. But if you think it'd be a good idea, I can start reaching out to some people and see if we can do some more interviews if you're interested in that. And we'll try to do all we can to accommodate people and to see if we can. Yeah, I don't know Yanasa TV. I've seen some of his stuff, but I don't personally know him. But maybe try to reach out to him. Do you recommend other podcasts for prepper info? I think that on prepper info, there's a guy named City Prepper is good, or City Prepping, excuse me. And then there's a guy named DIY Prepper. He's pretty good too. A lot of us share a lot of the same information, but they are both very good channels when it comes to prepping. Kind of prepping only. Because we do prepping, then we talk about sustainable food, then we talk about homesteading, then we also talk about, of course, current events. So it is what it is. Thank you, Tina, very much so. Food preparation is our best. Yes, I always think about biblical times, and I can bring this up all the time with Joseph. He didn't prep anything but food, and I think food put him to a point where he was prepared, and people came to him, and I think God gives us wisdom that way. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm fixing to literally. I've got about 2 more minutes. Shoot me some more questions real quick. I said I was going to stay for 15 minutes, but I'm at like 25 minutes. So I got about another minute and a half. Hey, shoot us some other questions. We want to answer them. I love talking to y'all, by the way. Yeah, I saw one he did on an Oregon farmer one time, and I think that he always does really good trying to represent farming. We talk about farms today on the video too at 5:30. Again, watch it for sure. Let's see. Any other questions? Try to look in the comments. My comments are kind of getting blurry, guys. Thank you again for watching, by the way. Carol, thank you for coming on. I've never heard of modern refugee. I'll have to check those out for sure. Yeah, lovely. What I'm scared of is what happened in the EU and Australia can easily happen here. And if honestly, if if Trump would have not become president, even you can say you don't like him, it doesn't matter. But bottom line is he has done a lot for freedom. If we would have saw Kamala get in, I believe we would have saw us go definitely more down a UK approach to the world. And I think that could be bad. Not me. I just bought a Romeo and Juliet. If you know what that is, it's a optics that I put on a carbine. Let's see. It's great from Finland. Awesome. Hey, welcome. That is cool. What time is it in Finland? Let me know. Thinking about getting meat chickens. What time of year is good for that? Right now, Amy. And meat chickens are good. Actually, a friend of ours. Again, we barter, and we have people that always come pick up food and feed for us. We had a guy that was using our plucker and our scalder today to do birds. So I think it's a good time by Cornish Cross or Freedom Rangers. Both are good. Cornish Cross go real quick and do very well. Um, and a great chicken to actually have for meat chickens. Definitely something to look at for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I saw I saw the outage in Puerto Rico. It happens all the time. It shows a failing grid. I think again can show how bad our grid is because guess where our grid components come from? China. Guess where our transformers come from? China. We need to make them here. Let's see. What are your thoughts on other countries around the world telling their citizens to prepare for what could come? Yet the United States is telling their citizens nothing. I think the EU countries play into fear a little bit more than what we do. I do believe we should be prepared. I do believe there's harder times coming, but one good thing is we do tend to have a buffer zone in America. Europe doesn't, so I think you're going to see more countries over there, and especially because their people cannot defend themselves. So I think it's something that they're going to always push them a little harder. And again, if I lived, oh my gosh, midnight, that's crazy. Hey, thank you for being here from Finland. But I do think we should all be prepared, and I think that goes back to 2A rights and also First Amendment rights. If we don't adhere and hold to those, I think we'll be in the same boat. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. We've got to go now. Listen, please listen. I know there's about 300 or 400 people on here. Please go check out the video at 5:30. I really need your help sharing the video. I told you yesterday's video was about a third share compared to what it usually does because of what YouTube may not like some of the things that we talk about. Today's video is so good. We talk about tariffs. We talk about the farms. We talk about the dangers across the world. 5 things that you should purchase that are going up that has already been told that it will go up next week. So please go check that out. And again, I know we're going to do another live probably previous to Easter, but remember what this week is about, especially for ones who believe in Jesus, of course. So I hope that you realize how special this week is. We'll probably have Good Friday off, but we probably will still do a video. And then Saturday we'll come back with a live, most likely. So check that out. Be looking for those. And guys, thank you so very much for watching. Again, we appreciate you for coming on these lives. I love getting on the lives because we can talk, reminisce, and actually kind of get down to some of the questions that you may want us to answer that we can't get to in the comment section. So check me out on Twitter. Again, I share a lot of things over there. The new video on Life of Copeland Mac, if you haven't checked that out, that is a good video. Go check it out as well. But we appreciate you for watching, and we hope that you're encouraged by some of the short stories we share and get wisdom from it. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless.